So we learned about the separation of crude oil into fractions, and you're going to find the link to the video where I explained this part in the description below. So crude oils are heated and they undergo separation of different fraction in fractional by using the fractional distillation column, where the shorter chain ones are produced or are eliminated from the top of the column, and the longer chain ones are eliminated towards the bottom. However, most of the fractions that are separated are actually the long chain hydrocarbons, which are less useful than the shorter chains one, because the shorter chain ones are the ones that are used as fuel and so on. So we need to increase the productivity of the shorter chain one. To do this, we use a process called cracking, where by this process, the longer chain hydrocarbon are broken down to give a shorter chain more useful hydrocarbons. So what is cracking and what happens in cracking? First, they heat the hydrocarbons until they are vaporized. So the longer chain hydrocarbons are heated until they are completely vaporized. We have two types of cracking processes. The first one is called the catalytic cracking. In this process, the vaporized hydrocarbons are passed over a hot catalyst like silica or alumina. And by passing these over the hot catalyst, they will start a catalytic process to break down the longer chain hydrocarbons into a shorter chain ones. The second process is called the steam cracking. In steam cracking, the vapors that have been produced after heating the hydrocarbons are mixed with steam, and then they are heated to a very high temperature, can reach a range of 600 to 700 degrees. So the thermal decomposition then will start. So the first one, there is a catalytic decomposition. The second one is thermal decomposition, and by thermal decomposition also the longer chain hydrocarbons will break down to give the shorter chain ones. The products of the cracking are not only alkanes or shorter chain alkanes, but also some of the unsaturated hydrocarbons, which are called alkenes. For your exam, you need to be able to balance the chemical equation for cracking. Normally, they will give you a long chain hydrocarbon, and the products will be a shorter chain hydrocarbon and an alkene. An example of that is the breakdown of octane, or the decomposition of octane, which is an 8 carbon chain of hydrocarbon, which is quite a long chain. When it undergoes cracking, it can give you a shorter chain hydrocarbon of hexane, which is 6 carbon atom chain of an alkane, and it will give you an ethene, which is an alkene with the double bond there, and this is only 2 carbon atoms. This is a balanced equation where one octane will give you one hexane and one ethene.